Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Welcome everyone to Traders of the World, our new interview show where we bring inspiring stories about the financial market and incredible guests. I am Professor Flavio Lemos, chairman of the Brazilian local chapter of the CMD Association, also author of some investment books, and we are speaking English because we want this show to inspire new traders around the world. I hope you all like it and subscribe to our channel. Speaking of our guest today, born in Germany in a monastery where his parents met after passing through Nazi concentration camps, he early on moved to the United States and graduated there in psychology. Working in a hospital with patients with mental problems, he realized that money was tight and looked for other income alternatives. It was there that he changed professions and became a trader. He has pioneered numerous technical, cyclical, and seasonal methodologies in the futures market, including key day seasonal analysis, the MA channel method, market patterns, short-term and intermediate-term trading methods, the power momentum, the daily sentiment index, seasonal key dates, cycles, and much more. He has written more than 45 books, numerous research studies and newsletters on futures trading, stock trading, trader psychology, and economic forecast. He is the president of the Network Press and an international known commodities analyst, author, trader, and a financial consultant who educates traders throughout the world on numerous futures trading strategies and indicators. And he is a friend of mine, of course. Please welcome Mr. Jake Benson. How are you, Jake?
I'm good. How are you, Flavio? How do you feel? You're making a full recovery?
Yeah, I'm feeling just fine, and I'm recovering a little bit every day. I think in more 2 months I'll be ready to go another marathon.
Good.
So, Jake, and today we will explore your indicators, your setup, and all your expertise. So, how does your method works? How does your setup trigger follow model works?
Oh, Flavio, every trade needs three things: a setup, a trigger, and a follow through. A setup is a pattern. It could be a reversal, key reversal, divergence, flag, pennant, all the chart formations. That's a setup. Because there are many, many setups, we need to find setups that work, that project the future. Then we need a trigger. The trigger is timing. So once we have a pattern, we need a trigger. Once we have a trigger, we have follow through. So the follow through is the most important part. Either you take a loss, you take a profit, and then you have the profit maximizing strategy, which is the big move. And that's how it works. For every indicator, if you don't have a setup, trigger, and follow through, probably you won't make money.
Okay. So, how many indicators and setups have you developed?
I only have about 5 really good setups. Most of the setups, if you put them on the computer and you do some research, you find that most of the setups don't work. So I only have 5 good ones: moving average channel, divergence, commitment of traders report, the 8 open close, and I have a 5th one. It's the 3x3 channel, all of which I teach in my work.
Okay. So, could you show us a bit of each one? Let's talk about first the MA channel, please. Okay. We are watching your screen now.
Okay, good. So let me go to a channel chart. 1 second, Flavio. Let's go to this one right here. And let's take a look at, we'll take a look at a market that's very familiar to you over there, soybeans. How's that?
No, that's okay.
So here is the soybean chart. You see my chart?
Yes.
Good. So this is the channel, 2 moving averages. The green line is a 10 period moving average of the high. The red line is an 8 period moving average of the low. In the middle of the screen, we have Williams accumulation distribution. and the red line is the moving average of Williams. So these are the parts of the moving average channel. So Flavio, when we have two complete bars below the channel, and Williams goes below the moving average like it did right over here, let me mark it. One moment, please.
Okay.
Would be a sell signal, and you see all the way down, it stays in sell mode. If it went into buy mode, we would have two bars above the top of the channel. Let me show you gold. I'll show you the gold. You'll see the difference. So here is the gold.
Oh,
Here's the difference. So this is the
yes.
buy signal in gold right over here. And this over here on the soybeans before was a sell signal. You see the difference. This is the bearish one right here. And gold was the bullish one. That's the difference.
So you need two bars above or below each
Yes.
of the channel.
Yes. Here, I'll show you another one. This one is the gold again, right here. And so this would be a buy signal right over here. And of course,
Where
you can
it's green,
Yes.
there's a green square.
Yes, you got it. So let me show you another one in case anybody's interested in the Bitcoin. Let me show you the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You can see the Bitcoin turned bullish all the way over here and stayed bullish the entire move and never went below the bottom of the channel and never had two bars below.
So
That's
this is a trend following system. You go
Yes,
with the trend until it goes on.
Yes, it's a trend and it's a breakout. It's a breakout system and a trend following system as well.
So you need two bars above the channel or below the channel, and you confirm that with the Williams.
Yes, absolutely. Another indicator that I use is a small trader sentiment. Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me go back to the gold chart and bring it up on the screen. One moment, Flavio. And Flavio, you know more about my work than I do.
I need to study you.
Let me show you here on the bottom of the screen. On the bottom of the screen, we have small trader sentiment here. So this tells you if the small trader is very bearish, you see that's close by the bottom. When the small trader becomes too bullish, like right over here, the market goes down. Let me mark it, Flavio. Here we go.
Oh, this is the COT report. Yeah.
This is the sentiment. Not the
Sentiment.
I'll show you the COT in a minute.
Okay.
So like right now, over here, you see the small trader is very bullish. The market goes down. Now the small trader is very bullish. So it's very dangerous because probably the market will go down now. Over here, look, over here. The small trader was very negative and the market went up. See the combination?
Right. And how does this sentiment index works? How do you make this indicator?
We do a survey every day. We find out from the small trader what is the small trader opinion, and then we make the survey and we publish the results. So, for example, on Friday, about 81% of the traders were bullish, and that's dangerous. It means the market will probably go down. Flavio, it's a leading indicator. It becomes negative before the bottom, and it comes positive before the top.
How does it apply to the S&P now?
Oh, sure. Good question, Flavio. Let me bring up the S&P on the chart. So here is the S&P. And you can see what's happened with the S&P. The sentiment right over here is very bullish. The small trader is very bullish on the stock market. It's a dangerous sign. We will probably go down. You see what happened over here, Flavio? The last time the small trader was very bullish, it was a leading indicator. It went down about a week or two later. So it tells us before the move happens. Look at this one over here, Flavio. See how negative the small trader was over here at the bottom?
Yeah.
Right over here. And then the market goes up for a long time.
It's just the opposite. The small traders are always wrong.
They're not always wrong. Flavio, if they were always wrong, they wouldn't play the game. Sometimes they win.
You need to give a carrot for the rabbits come, huh?
That's right. They need a little reward sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So you got more indicators to show us. please show us
Sure.
another
Let me show you
indicator.
another one. Let me show you divergence. Let me get it for you. One moment, Flavio. Here we go. So here we have divergence. And this is on, let me put it on Amazon. One moment, please, Flavio. So look at Amazon. Look what happens. We make a new high in the price, but on the bottom of the screen, momentum does not make a new high. You see, new high in price without a new high in momentum, which gives us the configuration. And then we come below the low of the momentum and we get a sell trigger. So here's one that just triggered a sell in the last couple of days. So people will have a chance to see, does it work? We will know in the next few days if it works.
Yeah, you know for sure. And so you use this reverse to get the trigger.
Yes.
And it uses does it gives you any targets or
Yes.
two?
Yes, let me show you this, Flavio. Here's one that triggered about a week ago. New low in price without a new low in momentum. So we have our points A, B, C, D. We take the range, $285 per 100 shares. And the first target is half that amount. So this is what happened after the trigger. Here's the trigger. This is what happened, and this is up to date, happening right now. So we are at $40 from the target.
Okay. This one is this chart is for
SIL, Silver ETF.
Silver ETF. Okay. So it's a complete setup indicator and gives target price and stop too or not?
Yes, it gives you the stop, the first target, the second target. It gives you everything. It's very simple, very easy. Flavio, even a computer could do it.
Even a computer. Yeah.
Even a computer could do it.
So you show me this is the divergence.
Yes.
Divergence. You got any more?
Sure.
Any more to show?
We'll always have more. Let me show you another one. Let's take a look at another one. Let's look at the moving average channel 3x3. Here's we go. One moment, Flavio. So look, here is the indicator on the bottom of the screen. Let me find you one that's easier to see. One moment, Flavio. Let's get this one here. One moment, please. Let's look at this one right over here. Good. So here is the indicator, the green line and the red line. When the green goes above the red, over here, it's a buy. When the green goes below the red, it's a sell. Then it's a buy again. You see, even though it's not perfect, it still gets the big moves.
Mm-hmm.
When we go above, like so, the green line here is support. When we go below, the red line is resistance. So that's what the chart looks like. That's the 3x3 channel. It uses momentum and movement. Question, Fabio?
Yes. You said once you can't have confidence without discipline, and you can't have discipline without confidence. You have a lot of confidence in the commercials. So you focus on the fundamentals by looking at the commercial activity reported by the CFTC every week.
Absolutely, Flavio. That is a major indicator. Let me bring it up on the screen and show you what's happening. Let's talk about a market that you're very interested in over soybeans, monthly chart. The green over here means commercial buying. I want you to look at what's happening right now. So what's happening now? Commercials are buying more soybeans than ever before on this chart. But look what happened every time they bought. They would buy it, then it goes up. They buy it, it goes up. They buy it, it goes up. So this is a very, very strong correlation. It says right now the soybeans are making a low. So that is our setup, and we're waiting for a trigger.
What would be, which one will be the trigger for the soybeans to you mean?
The moving average channel.
Oh,
So
the
the
moving
moving
average.
average is our timing, and this is our setup. And let me show you something else that you might be interested in, Fabio. Look at this. Soybean oil. Let me bring it up on the screen. Soybean oil. So look at that.
That's
Not
a
only,
cycle.
yes, there's a cycle in soybean oil, and there's also commercial buying in soybean oil. And one more, Flavio. Soybean meal. Look. See the big buying in soybean meal?
Again.
They're buying more than ever before. And look at every time, Flavio, look here and here and here. Every time they're buying at the bottom, like here, look how close the correlation is. I mean, it's an excellent indicator. And you don't even have to pay for it because we get it free from the government.
At least at least something we get free for free.
That's right.
Although we pay a lot of taxes.
That's right. See how beautiful this is, Flavio?
And how about gold? Can we show gold on this indicator and the cycles?
Let's see if I can get that back on the screen here. 1 second, please. In gold, there is no commercial buying. So here's the gold. And there's no commercial buying. Let me see what I can do. I think I have it. Let me check the
But
cycle.
probably there is a lot of other setups on gold. Huh?
Yes,
the
there is.
breakouts and the
The-
cycles. The cycles I don't know.
Let me show you something else. I want you to look at copper.
Okay.
Here's the copper, Flavio. Look at all this commercial buying in copper before the move up, before the move up, before the move up, before this move up. It's a very, very, very good indicator. I think I have a cycles chart too. Let me take a look. 1 second, please, Flavio. Yes, I do. Hold on a second.
Okay. Opa. This is copper. Huh?
That is copper. Look at the relationship. It's almost perfect. Sometimes it doesn't work, but notice the relationship between the low in most cases. So what is right now? We are right over here. So we are still in the middle of the cycle. So we still have higher to go. And we also have commercial buying, which is very important, Flavio.
Without them, there's no fuel for the movement.
Exactly. And in copper, who are the big commercial buyers of copper?
And
China.
The mining companies, or you mean the mining companies?
Yeah, they're the producers. The end user is very important, and the end user is buying, and that's the commercial end user, China.
China is the biggest commodity market.
Yes,
We buy every commodity in the world.
that's right.
We're talking about cycles now. You have worked for the foundation for the study of cycles. So, which are the seasonal key dates? And you show that you have a website that shows seasonal traders, huh?
Yes, let me go to that website and share the screen. Seasonal?
Seasonal trader. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Do you want to get you a cup of coffee and look at all the months? I'm going to say to the computer, show me all the trades in coffee for the entire year that have been right 75% of the time or more. So what do we get? Let me show you. The computer found all of these trades that have been right 75% of the time or more. For example, Flavio, going short September coffee, the 4th of June till the 21st of June has been right 82% of the time. And here is the history. For 50 years, Flavio. So there was the whole track record right over here. Very impressive. You see it?
See, so you use it as a setup and wait for the trigger. Huh?
Yes,
That's how you use it.
yes. But here's the thing, Flavio. If the accuracy is 80% or more, we don't need a trigger. It's such a
No,
good
you don't
trade,
need
we
it.
don't even need a trigger. Okay? And
Mhm.
we have many others. So for example, here's the trades in June. There's let's go forward. There's many other trades I'll show you. Here's the trade in September. Well, this is still in June coffee. We can go to the end of the trade. Let's go to page 8 and see what we have. So these are trades. These are all in the month of June. Let me show you one more thing, Flavio. We can look at the seasonal chart. So it's going to come right up. It should be here any second, Flavio.
Mhm.
So here is the chart. This chart shows us exactly what happens in June in coffee. So look, the month of June, big down month in coffee, and we usually make the low in the middle of July.
That's our crop season.
That's right. That's right. It should be the harvest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of coffee, more supply, big decline.
In your website, you show the key seasonal dates. That's it.
Yes,
Think-
we can do
yeah.
the seasonal dates, and Flavio, we can also do it on stocks. Let me show you something. You go to
Okay.
seasonal dates on US stocks, like so. So if you wanted to know, let's look at the S&P. So here we'll go to the S&P. S&P 500 right over here. We'll mark it, and we'll tell the computer. Tell you what, let's find trades for next month, like so, with 70% win. In other words, I only want to look at trades that have been right 70% of the time or more, with a stop loss. Let me put in a stop loss up, Flavio, and do a search, and it will give me my results. So here, 75% of the time, if you buy S&P April 7th, end of day, get out April 23rd, you have 75% wins. And here is the complete history right over here. 64 years, Flavio, 64 years. And there's the track record.
Impressive.
Yeah, very, very long history. Very impressive.
Very impressive. So normally when you get this hate as above 80%, you don't need a trigger, but
You don't
you
need
need a
to.
stop. You need a
Yes,
stop. It's like a plan B.
yes, and here's the stop. And notice every trade gives you a stop. This one is 12%. It also gives you a profit target and an average loss and an average profit. All the information is right there.
Do you think discipline and risk control are important to traders?
Flavio, it is the most important thing. You can take a good system and give the good system to a trader with no discipline, and they'll turn it into a loss. You can take a bad system and give it to a good trader with good discipline, and they can make money with it. So it is the most important thing. And you were right before. Discipline comes from confidence. Confidence comes from having a good indicator and good history. Very important.
And how does one go about developing this winning mindset?
Start small. Have clear rules. If the rules are clear, you start small. You only risk a little bit and do it over and over again. give the system an opportunity to work, and you gain your confidence. When you gain your confidence, you make more money. When you make more money, you get more discipline. If you have more discipline, you have more confidence, and it goes around and around like that. But you have to start small with real money. You know, Flavio, they say, paper trade, pretend that you're trading. If you do that, you won't learn anything. It's like living with someone before you get married to them. You don't learn anything until after you get married. So you have to make the real trades and feel the real feelings. That's the best way to do it.
Okay, great, great advice. And once you said that you cannot test it, then don't trade it. So you need to test every single setup, make it confidence to you.
Well, you know, Flavio, we have so many powerful computers. We have so much technology. We have to use the technology to our advantage. Why have the technology if you don't use it? It's very important, very important. There's no excuse for not testing a system.
I want to make a difficult question for you because you were such a winning trader. But I'm gonna ask, what
Yes.
were your which was your worst trade ever, and what have you learned from it? Please,
Yeah,
just one. I will ask you the success too, but please, first the bad one, the worst ever. Everyone has one.
yes, it started out as a day trade. And from the day trade, at the end of the day, I had lost $500. But I didn't want to take the loss. So I kept it instead of getting out. The next day was 1,000, then 1,500. And every day I had another excuse. Let's look at the chart, find something bullish. Let's find something bullish. And day after day after day. And pretty soon it was $5,000 loss. And that was the end of it for me. And that taught me the best lesson I ever learned. You have to take the loss as soon as you have to take it. And that's all there is. There's no excuse for not taking the loss, except you don't want to admit that you're wrong. If you don't want to admit that you're wrong and that you can be wrong, you shouldn't be trading because you're going to be wrong 30% of the time, 40% of the time. So you have to learn how to take the loss. Because I know, Flavio, that every time I take a loss, the next trade will probably be a profit.
That's powerful. You work in a psychiatry hospital, and now
Yes.
you work with traders. So you love crazy people. I mean, but
Flavio,
what lessons you have you brought from your psychology career to your life as a trader?
oh boy, let me tell you this, Flavio. Most of the time, if someone is a bad trader, they will also have problems in their personal life. If you straighten out the problems in your personal life, you'll probably be a good trader. So the lesson is, when you go home, don't think about the market. When you come back to the office, it's like a job, but don't take your work home with you. Don't talk to anybody else about the market. Don't try to give anybody advice. Don't listen to anybody else. Only if you can see it yourself. Otherwise, don't believe it. You know, Flavio, if you go to the internet search and you say, find information on how to become a good trader, you will get 50 million hits. Everybody wants to teach you how to be a good trader and they want to charge you money for it. The lesson is, do it yourself, be independent, learn from experts, and then see if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, it's not for you.
So please, where can the audience find you on the internet and learn from the expert? Could you show your website to hire your course?
JakeBernstein.com.
JakeBernstein.com. Okay. So thank you very much. But last question. I mean,
Sure.
you have now been trading for over 53 years, published 45 books now, 46, 47, 45 books now. I don't know. I have lost the count.
45.
45 books. Okay. The last book was about which the name of the
Day
book?
trading. It's
Day
the
Trade.
day trading book. Yes.
So, what is your final advice to a young trader that just began and want to buy Bitcoins and cryptos? What's your advice to him?
Be patient. Start with enough money. Don't be in a hurry. Learn setup, trigger, follow through. If the rules are not clear, don't trade. There are a lot of good trading systems around. You just have to be patient and test before you do anything. Very simple.
Yes, you-
And
And with
if anybody wants to write me an email and tell me that they saw the show, I will be glad to send them a lesson at no charge.
okay, that's great. So we come to the end of this amazing interview with Jake Burston, and we want to thank you all, our viewers, for joining us today. Thank you very much, Jake, for being with us, and I'm glad to see you again, including your Taj Mahal screen.
Thank you, Flavio. Good to see you again. I'll see you again sometime in Brazil.
Okay, this has been an honor and a pleasure. We also thank you very much.
My
Bye bye,
pleasure.
Jake.
Bye bye.
Thank you.